for any student or anyone who is interested in education, particularly once it comes to masters. And this ensures some kind of financial stability or some kind of financial independence, rather than being depending on the third party or even family for every time or for the education at least. So that's one of the major aspect of central university. Then coming to the curriculum, we could see a much diverse difference in the curriculum. That's one of the major thing is the research orientation, because most of the programs in central universities, mainly once it comes to into MA economics at least, we would say that it's more or less inclined to the research idea rather than just mainstream textbook. So that's make one individual, though he is not very interested into the PhD or the research studies, it gives him idea of what really research is and what, whether we are at least able to cope up with the research orientation. So that's one of the major aspect. Other than that, it more, to be more precise, like the international seminars, the presentations, and the network, that is very very important. That's why the Economiga is mainly the existence of Economiga, and moreover the growth of Economiga is also based on the network. So what we would say is like the network is mainly built through the life that you get in central university. It's not the class or the seminar, just the seminar or the talk. It's something more than that. So building a network, getting into international seminars and presentation is one of the other aspect. So coming to the academic opportunity, student exchange program. So if you're part of most of the central universities, you have the option to be part of the student exchange programs across India, as well as to move out of the country too. So that's one of the major thing that would anyone could try to get into. Like if you are trying to, so I would say it's more specific in sense, like if you are trying to move out for your PG masters in foreign universities, I would suggest it's better, given if you are not having such if you have constraints on economic side, it let's wait for 2 years a proper central university masters program and get into connection with student exchange programs and build your networks. After building networks and having this orientation, I would ensure you that most of you could definitely get through foreign universities in the later stage. So that's one of the major connecting block between the academic opportunity that being offered in the central universities. Then to be in a more pragmatic way, central universities does offer placements both on and off. So more than the on campus placements, central universities equip one individual to be very very self-sustaining and self-dependent, such that he or she would be ready to apply himself or herself to get into one of the some of the top placements in later stage too. So in general, these are the major characteristic features that makes me or Naveen or the part of Economiga community to be part or to be stressed for the higher education, particularly once it comes to higher education in a central university. So moving moving on, so let's see what is CUT-PG first of all. So CUET, it's just the explanation is Central University Entrance Test, and its PG is post graduation. So as you guys know, CUET PG is being conducted by NTA or the National Testing Agency. So it's a autonomous institute registered under the Ministry of under the government of India. So CUET PG is mainly the entrance examination, the national level entrance examination, which targets the audience of undergraduate students in the country to attempt and get into the top central universities and the affiliated participating universities in the country for their higher education. And CUT PG is mainly for the PG. And the major target I already tell, it's the major target is like those who did complete their graduation or those who are going to complete the graduation in this year would be the major target for central university entrance test in the upcoming year. And how the CUCT exam is mainly conducted, it's basically through an application. Students will be applying to CUT PG through NDA's website, and then there will be, after filling the application, there will be an examination. That is what is called CUT entrance examination, CUT PG entrance examination. And for different domains or the subjects, different exams. And these exams, you get into the exams, try to score the maximum marks based on your marks, as well as what you attain in the examination, plus basic reservation, plus the points. You will be targeted to different universities based on our requirement and our marking and our scores. We will be getting admission to the different central universities that comes in the category of CUT. So moving on to the next. So let's see which all are the top participating universities or the top participating institutes which are registered in the CUT PG entrance examination. So you have to be very clear. It's CUT PG. It's not CUT UG. So it's very different. CUT UG has much diverse option, but CUT PG. So we here are just showing some of the universities or institute. It's not the complete list, because we just selected the major institutes or universities where you could target to get into for the post graduation. So one of the major institute is JNU. Even I was a part, and I'm still a part of JNU. I'm an alumni of JNU. So JNU basically offers two types of master's program. One is MA Economics, the general program. The other one is MA Economics with specialization in world economy. So JNU has different schools, and under School of Social Sciences, MA Economics is offered, and School of International Sciences, it's basically MA Economics with world economy specialization course is being there. And once it comes to other than JNU, the one of the best in India and one of the best even in the world. Like once you go to the European universities, you would see what is the significance of these universities. So once you go out of the country, you would see why these central universities does differ compared to the other universities. So Central University of Hyderabad or the University of Hyderabad is one of the top institute where you could do masters in two courses. One is masters in economics and the masters in financial economics. Then we have the Delhi School of Economics, the top notch institute in India, the top alumnus institute in India in economics domain. Delhi School of Economics, it's under the University of Delhi. And as far as now, given the information from the University of Delhi School of Economics will be also a part of CUET. So to be clear, till last year, Delhi School of Economics or the University of Delhi was not a part of CUET PG, and given the information till now, CUET PG 2023 will be having Delhi School of Economics also as an option to be enrolled after getting the admission, after taking that entrance test in CUET PG. So that's one of the major, or I would say those who are very interested in quantitative economics or more into the corporate level of economics or analytical level of economics, Delhi School is one of the best in the country. No, one of the best in the even in the world. So next we have the Pondicherry University. Most of the people, at least from Kerala, might have heard the Pondicherry is still one of the best universities where you could do your masters. And we have Jamia Millia in New Delhi. Then we have Ambedkar University in Delhi. Even Ambedkar University is also a newly participating university in CUET PG. And we have state sponsored central universities like Central University of Punjab, Central University of Kerala, Central University of Rajasthan, Karnataka, and many universities, like almost 20 state sponsored universities where you could do your masters. And Central University of Rajasthan is having two courses. Other than MA Economics, they have a MA Economics integrated course in B.Ed. So those who like to do some B.Ed plus MA Economics, it's a 3-year program where you could get both your bachelor in education as well as you can do masters in economics. And we have Bangalore Ambedkar School of Economics. That's one of the most leading emerging schools of economics in India right now. It's in Bangalore, and it's a institute, or it's more of a institute than a university. It's more concentrated on economics education. So those who are interested to get into placements and to do top internships or top connections and network, Bangalore Ambedkar School is one of the emerging institute where you could target. And base is also part of CUET PG 2023. And we have Banaras Hindu University and so many more. So this is more or less the idea of top participating university. If you guys later, if you want to know more about some universities, we have the alumnus with us. We have the alumni. Oh, can you hear me properly now?
Yes, we can hear. I mean,
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
I think.
Nandu, we don't face much difficulty. We are clear.
Okay. Thank you, Angras. Okay, so this is more or less the ideas of university. So coming to the tentative dates, so after analyzing the previous prospectus and different schedules, we come into the idea of like the tentative dates being supposed to be happening. The application will more or less begin by the third week of May this year, and it would last till 1 month, which means third week of June. But it could vary from 1 or 2 weeks before or after, in the sense like it could happen from second week of May to second week of June, or fourth week of May to fourth week of June, something kind of that will be more or less the application period. And coming to the examination days, given the examination that happened last year, it was in towards the end of August, and it was mainly in September. So we suppose that because of the COVID, there were so many glitches last time. We got to hear the same thing from some of the faculties across the universities. This was one of the comments we got informally. So we would say that more or less this examination this year would at the most would happen during the July or August, and at the like at the otherwise it, if there is some technical glitches this time also, it could sometimes lead to September. But this is more or less the tentative dates. This is not the assurance. This is just based on the analytic analysis that we did from the given the bureaucracy and the timing that NTA conducts the examination. And looking to the tentative fees or the examination fees for the CUT entrance examination. So to be clear, it's just for the CUT entrance examination, just the fees for the CUT entrance examination. So last time, it's based on the last time again. Last time it was 800 rupees for the general category, and the advantage or some kind of notion that they build is with 800 rupees one can write up to 3 papers. So suppose if you are gonna write the MA economics entrance, you could write MA political science or MA geography or MA history with this economics, but you don't want to pay extra, you have to pay 800. So 1 to 3 papers. So technically you can write 1 to 3 papers with rupees 800 if you are from general category, and if you are from OBC non-creamy or general EWS category, you have to pay 600, and for SC, ST and third gender it will be 550, and whereas for the persons with disabilities it will be 500. And for extra additional paper, so suppose you are writing for entrance examination, you have to pay. If you are general category candidate, you have to pay extra 200. For other categories it will be 150 for the extra paper. So this is more or less the fee structure. We hope that given the NDA framework and the technique they follow, it won't change a lot. More or less this would be the cost that you have to pay for writing the CUET entrance examination. And let's discuss the exam pattern. So we are just concentrating on MA economics program or the economics part of the CUET PG. So the economics exam or whatever being the domain, the question paper will be consisting of 100 questions. So for each questions, it carries 4 marks as your correct marking. For negation or negative marking will be based on 1. So which means if you get one correct answer, it will be +4, and if it's wrong, -1. This is more or less the marking scheme. And the 100 questions will be divided into 2 parts, where part A will be dealing 25 multiple choice questions with language comprehension, verbal ability, mathematical or the quantitative aptitude kind of questions, or the general awareness. It will be of 25 questions. But on the other hand, the major domain, the discipline that the student targeted to get into, like if it's economics, and here it is economics, there will be 75 multiple choice questions comprising of the economics domain. So what all are the part of my economics, or which all are the specialized areas in economics, will be dealt later by Naveen. But the question or the crux of the examination is the 75 multiple choice question that more or less the most of the graduates or economic aspirants should target to get into, is main crux. And from the experience, part A is little tricky, but it's not difficult. So if you have the trick, if you get the trick, it's very easily preparable, or you could try yourself to get solved at least 15 questions out of the 25 MCQs. So it's very important for anybody to be very clear cut in solving the 75 questions or the part B. So here the community Economiga or the team Economiga is going to pitch the idea of having entrance, or just it's more than a coaching, it's more of a help. But we are targeting an audience that would that would really need the help of economics entrance preparation, and that could help them to afford an education which is not much given the market prices. So now I hand over this session to Naveen. And Naveen, yeah, before getting into that, let me talk more about this too. So we talked about all these things. Why we are talking about the CUT or the Central University in one theoretical section, I said, though it's practical. why in at the end of the day, we all of most of us learn economics and we start thinking about the economic way. So what is the economic way of economic thought behind the entrance examination is like, these are the career prospects. This is not limited. This is just listing of some of the career prospects that anyone could target, starting from the research jobs. Research jobs doesn't mean you should do PhD or research in the subject. Research jobs just meant by you should have the analytics or the analytical ability to do or understand the research kind of perspective in the domain, which means research jobs we doesn't mean that it should be PhD in economics. So a proper MA economics with basic and fundamental learning in economics with analytical skill would ensure you some of the top research jobs in India and the world. So to be precise, one of the best research job to be a part of the World Bank or the IMF. Even IMF or the World Bank does offer jobs for MA master level students to be there in the top position. Even for more pragmatic sense, one of the good job, those who are interested in the economic journalism would definitely target at getting into some of the job in Economic Times, Financial Times, something kind of newspaper. So as far as my knowledge, one of the top newspapers editor, the economic editor, is just a main economics. He is no more a PhD. So it does mean that if you have the skill set, if you have the knowledge, MA economics is more than enough to pursue your career. So that's why we pretend to say that, like, that's why we more intend to say that MA economics is very, very important, or masters in the subject is very, very important. Other than that, the academic jobs, once it comes to academic jobs, it's just not teaching. It can be a teaching assistant. So I was a part of this academic job. I was a part of research job. So research job, the research assistants will be a part of research jobs. Then academic jobs, you can be a teaching assistant or academic associate kind of job. Though it's contract based or it's short tenure, the prospects that you earn from getting into such jobs makes you more flexible and makes you more permanent in what you are destined to. So then we have the corporate job. Economiga is having the community where both all these three mixes are properly there. So corporate jobs, you might know the top companies definitely ask for MA economic students to do major role in their company. It's not just you are just doing something basic. You are destined to do some of the best job roles in some of the top corporate companies. And one of the advantage why central universities again comes into the picture is location based. So to be frank, if you are in a central university which is more location based advantage oriented, it would definitely help you that at least twice or thrice than anybody who is doing some kind of master's program in a state university or somewhere it's not into the main domain. So other than that, the programs which more or less helps the students to prepare themselves, as well as supports the student studies basically in their competitive examination preparation. Once it comes to economics, it's mainly Reserve Bank of India's examination and the Indian Economic Service. That's where the more or less most of the economic students could and should target upon. And most of the central university library does offer you the basic readings and give you the atmosphere to prepare for these examinations. And majorly master's program in economics is also a pathway to PhD. So I would say it's just a pathway to PhD. So the main thought most of the students is having MA economics is the pathway to PhD. No, it's not the pathway to PhD only. It does have a lot of things, but understanding and moving through the passion is very, very important. And also you can be a part of the national level and international level think tanks. So just with my masters, I was able to get into the national think tank of Niti Aayog, and I worked for like 3 months in Niti Aayog. So I would say that if you are very interested, even working 2 3 years in a think tank or even a public policy think tank or policy based think tank would be very, very efficient manner to do with a master's program. That would help you, and that would build your network, and that would help you to attain what you are destined to. So this is more or less the career prospects, just an idea. It's not the end. So I would say that regardless of the entrance coaching or the entrance examination, it's very important to get a proper master's in economics from well taught, fundamental cleared institute in India. So just target on the university where you are destined to, where you are intended to, rather than being doing a master's from anywhere. That would not only help you to get the tag of the university, but also make sure that you are viable enough for any kind of career prospects. So now Naveen would pitch the idea why Economiga is part of this idea. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you, Nandu. It was such an interesting talk. I mean, it gave a lot of insights to the viewers. So I'll just share the screen. I don't know if you're able to see it. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, Naveen, it is visible.
Okay, okay. So, as a founder of Economiga, I'll basically introduce to you a small like crash course what we are organizing and what are its benefits, its costs, and everything. So I'll just cover all these topics in the course of time. Okay. So let's just start. So before beginning about the course, I mean the crash course, I think I should actually give you an idea about what is economic and what are the aims of economic. So our main aim or main goal is basically summarized in these two lines. That is basically bridging the asymmetry and building a community. So these two are basic mottos, and this is something what we have been through. Like not just me, it's Nandu or maybe Alan, all of us have studied in various different parts of the I mean country, and we had this issue of a big asymmetry. So it's, though economics is a mainstream subject, it's not really given a real importance in various parts of the country, except maybe in Delhi and Kolkata, at least in India. Abroad, of course, in US and all, it's one of the leading subjects. So, and of course, these are very limited and obscure to certain universities or certain students or certain people, and it's not very open. So that's the way, or maybe that's basically the start of Economica. We wanted to make it more like a public good. Whatever is there, we wanted to make it more like a public good, so that by, I mean, basically by improving a community or maybe by building a community, because it's not very much possible if a certain people own certain things and it's not being shared. So once it's a public good, and the easiest way to do is basically by sharing resources, and in our case it's basically the knowledge and information, right? So information regarding various prospects and opportunities and everything, plus basically kind of the knowledge or the kind of resources what is specific to the subject of economics. Okay, so that's basically the main idea of economica, and that's how we started. Now, specifically coming to the course, what we offer. Okay, so who is this course for? So we basically offer this course for the students who are preparing for, or maybe who would like to give the Central University entrance test, specifically PG in economics. And it doesn't matter that you are going to give the exam this year or next year. Okay, so you can be a first year student, or maybe you can be a second year student, or maybe you kind of are in third year currently who will be giving this year, or maybe you are passed out like last year or something. Okay, so anything, it doesn't matter which year you are or something. Even if you're a master's, if you want to brush up the concepts, even that is fine, you can join this course. But specifically this course is tailor made for CET PG entrance examination. So our target group mostly would be the ones who would be giving entrance this year, but of course even if you're giving the next year or the year later, you can still join the course. Now coming to the course structure, or maybe the program course, the course program, basically this is like very much tailor-made for the CUET syllabus, because these are the main topics what CUET PG economics entrance suggests. So it consists of the main core subjects, like the four core subjects, that is microeconomics, macroeconomics, mathematical economics, statistics, and econometrics. So these are the major four areas what everyone has to at least cover in order to maybe score a really good, or maybe at least a decent enough score. And there are some other topics too which comes into play, that that is basically the miscellaneous topics. So miscellaneous would include like international trade, Indian economy, then public economics, and yeah, I mean these areas are included in the miscellaneous topics. And last, there is an addition of general aptitude, like Nandu mentioned before. So 75% or 70 out of 100 questions, 75 questions come from the subject, and 25 comes from the general aptitude. So you still have to prepare for the general aptitude as well. But the thing is that since we are econ students and not really well versed or trained in general aptitude, we don't really offer a course what is taught by us, or maybe something we have a copyright on. But instead what we kind of do is that we basically try to collect or collate resources from internet, like maybe it's a YouTube video or some third party resource which someone else might have made. So we don't take any copyright on it, but we'll try to collate in a single course kind of a structure. And it's not at out, so we'll try to build once our course starts. Okay, so by then you would get a single course where you can access all these links, and you don't really have to waste time searching for different videos, different topic wise videos. So we know the syllabus and we'll stick to it, so that you just have to revise from that. It's just that you just need to get a little edge over other people. And of course you need to know, not everyone prepares for general aptitude. People would strongly prepare for the subject, because you're from economics, so you should prepare, you need to know the subject matter. And the other thing, of course, you can prepare just to get an edge over the other candidate, right? So that's how this program is curated. And now coming to the course timeline. So this is a very tentative timeline what we have made. So we kind of would stick to around 50 hours of live lectures, okay, spanning across 50 days. It doesn't mean that you would have classes all the 50 days. So it just means that you might have around 25 days class, maybe with 2 hour lectures, okay. I mean in a particular day. And it's not even like you'll have classes all day, I mean whole days in these 50 days. So most probably what we are planning is that you would have classes on the weekdays. Okay, so that's how it's planned for now. And most probably if there is some issues, or maybe if it can't be conducted on a weekday, weekends, then we might with the consensus of both students and the tutors, because tutors are also working professionals. So they are also the kind of way what how we bought this thing is also, it's like a job for them, plus they are the ones who wanted to teach, so they are actually trying to teach. So it's not like they are proper tutors of Economiga. We don't have a company, it's just an initiative. So we try to bring many tutors from several parts of the country who are based, who studied in top institutes, or maybe who are currently studying in top institutes. So that's how we kind of made this initiative. So those people also would have other engagements. So we wanted to make it sure that you both would not miss out on any classes or any class information. So that's why we wanted to conduct on the weekends. Okay, so most probably our classes would be in the weekends, but if there is some kind of an issue, some kind of a matching issue between students and the teacher, then of course we'll decide upon that and finalize a date later. Okay, so those variations could be there. And for now we plan to start the classes by third week of March. But since the CUET exams also might get postponed, we might start around the last week of March. So it's not very sure. We'll definitely let you know over the mail, the ones who register. We won't spam with everyone. So we'll only send the mails to the ones who registered for our course. So yeah, the timeline might change, but most probably we'll try to stick with this timeline. And it would end by second week of May. Tentatively, it can go maybe some more weeks in the May. Okay, depends on how the pace of the course, basically how it's covered. Now coming to the course features. Okay, so these are the features what we offer in the courses. And certain things might not be there in a plan, because we have like 2 plans for now. I'll discuss more about the plans in the next slide. For now, in the coming slides. And so basically our courses would be live classes. So all the classes would be live, the ones which would be on the weekends, but you would have access to the recordings. So the benefit is that you can rewatch the videos if you don't really understand a topic. And since it's like a crash course, you might have to we won't be able to take a lot of doubts in the class, right? Sometimes if the tutor, if there are a lot of students and the tutor, but we try to make the batch size to be small, so that it won't be a cumbersome task for the tutors. Still, if you have some doubts, you can clear, but if there is something more, you can rewatch the video later at your own pace if you don't get something. And you do have a discussion portal where you can, on a real-time basis. Okay, so whenever you attend a class, if you have a doubt, you can post on that, and the tutors would get back to you in that, or maybe other students. So for example, if you know an answer, you could also help other students, and that's the best way to learn, if you know. Because even in my preparation, or we can ask Nandu or even Alan, we didn't have such a portal in our time. So what we used to do was, we used to chat on WhatsApp and discuss. And the best way to learn is by teaching someone. So if you know something, if you know an answer, try to explain in the best possible way. Try to explain it to like you explain it to a kid, 5-year-old kid. So that's how you kind of understand. If you have some gaps, you would get it then. So then you would read up more and then try to solve it again, right? So that's the way you learn. So definitely try out that too. We'll also help you with the answers. But in case if you know some answers, do why don't you, I mean, you just have to help others. And the other things what we offer is basically a topic wise mini test. So that would be like section wise. So for example, if there is a subject like a module, basically microeconomics, so there are several subsections, right? Like consumer theory, production theory, market. So there are different things. So what we would provide is that for each of these sections you would have around 5 to 10 questions, I mean mini quizzes. So that would help you ensure that, would make sure that whatever you learned in class you kind of have a revision. So it's always better that in a timely fashion. So these quizzes would be up once the live classes are done. Okay, so once the live classes are done, these quizzes would be up, and sometimes you might get the quizzes early as well, but we'll recommend that you complete the quiz after, once you've taken that particular portion. So if you've completed consumer theory, then try to take the quiz of that. Okay, and it won't be timed, but it would be in a self-paced manner. You just to get to know whether you understood the topic or not. Okay, and the next is full length mock tests. So these would be time tests, and these are gold materials because these would be very similar to the actual test. And I would, hello. Hello, I think someone's mic is on. Okay, no issues. Okay, so the full length mock tests are timed, and these are gold materials in the sense you shouldn't waste this initially. Okay, so you would get these materials soon once you register, like by third week of March, or maybe once the classes starts, these materials would be up on the portal. But then you shouldn't waste this initially because these are full length mock tests, like proper time. So it's better that once you've completed the course, try to take this full length so that you kind of evaluate yourself. So you can maybe take halfway one, and then after some time you can take one, and towards the end of the course you can take the final one, or maybe you can keep one or two towards the end, so that once you've completed the course, you still have one more mock test to take before the exam. So that can be something what you can take. And then there is this previous year questions. It's a question bank we collated. It was something which we started when we started our initiative. This is something what we had. And of course the final thing, it's something very exclusive. I don't think any other place you would kind of get this. So since we are a network of students, it's basically, as you might know by now, economic is a community of students, that too specifically economics. So we have a lot of people who studied in prestigious universities, like say even not just, it doesn't just pertain to central universities, rather other universities as well. So for example, IJDR or DSC, Delhi School of Economics, or Indian Statistical Institute like ISI. So we have students from every institute. So we'll try to get you in-person interaction. So it would be very informal. So we, in some weeks, we'll announce, we'll tell you, and we'll try to connect these students with you so that you would have a mini meeting. So whoever is there, you can ask any questions with them in the most informal way. It's not a formal meeting. He'll also be casual. He or she would also be casual, and you just have to ask the questions whatever you want related to the course, or the prospects, or the life at that particular university, how to survive the course, I mean the difficulty of the course. You can ask anything, how to make an interaction with the faculty or anything. Okay, even the tips and tricks, how they prepared and everything. So these would be very closed meetings, and that is very exclusive with whatever plan you take. I mean, even if you take a starter plan or the pro plan, you get this benefit. So these are the features what we offer in the course. And why choose the course? So the best way to explain is these two lines, that is the affordability and the comprehensibility. I mean, of course, it's not that comprehensive as a full length 1 year or 2 year courses. There are institutes which offer 1 year course. It's not like that. It's a crash course at the end of the day. But we'll try to make as comprehensive as possible for a crash course. Okay, given our limitation, we'll try to make it big. Okay, and of course, I can assure that this would be the most affordable with these features. This would be definitely, because if you see on the market, you would definitely see a lot of institutes charging more than 20K even for a crash course, that too for 1-2 months. Okay, and I mean, I've seen even there are other full length tests, I mean, full length courses also which offer charge at least minimum of 50K. If you have done a bit of market research, you would kind of get to know the real scene. But we didn't want to charge you that much because our goal is to make from our initial thing. Means it's a community. It's not an institute or a coaching institute or a center or something. It's not even a company. Okay, it's just an initiative or a collective of students. So we want to make this as affordable as possible. Okay, that's the reason why right now we are even running offer. Okay, with the Holy Special, we are also running a offer so that you shouldn't face any difficulty in terms of price. We have reduced it as low as possible because we have kept it. I'll come to the pricing, and I'll even tell you the logic why we even set that price. I mean, it's not just to make some profit or something. We won't we won't make a lot of profit also. So I'll come to that point so that you get the core reason why we set that price. So before that, I'll basically take you through the list of tutors who are our tutors for the course. So starting with Gargi Sarkar, so she'll be taking the microeconomics course, and she did her post graduation from Pondicherry University, and then she currently she's doing her PhD from Amity University on Noida, and she's a ad hoc professor at assistant professor at Indraprastha College for Women in Delhi University. So she does have enough of teaching experience as well. So she's a good, I think, 3+ years of teaching experience, and that would definitely help you guys a lot. I mean, we have seen how they teach. So even we had a very rigorous process by which we actually selected these tutors. We had more than 70+ applications, and then we sorted out to these few tutors who is real gold people. Okay, and coming next, he's Dr. Harikurup KK, and he's a retired professor from a government college, Kasaragod. He did his PhD from Center for Development Studies, Trivandrum. It's part of JNU, and he has worked and collaborated with various international organizations and everything. Plus, he's a great teacher. In the sense, he has more than 20 years of teaching experience, and I feel that would definitely help you guys. And he'll be conducting the Indian economy part. And we felt we need someone who could comprehensively teach in the short span of time. So it shouldn't be like just point and you just go to some coaching institute and you get that. We didn't want that kind of an Indian economy. We wanted someone who could teach like a story so that it would stay in your mind. So that's why we kind of chose him for, and I think he's the best you can get for Indian economy, right? And the next person is Nitin M, and he is currently doing his PhD in economics from IIT Kharagpur, and he'll be teaching you the macroeconomics. And we also describe him as a competitive master because he have cleared RBI, IES, NABARD, Exim Bank, these entrance tests. I mean, he couldn't unfortunately clear the interview, but then he's expert in the competitive exams. So, and of course, CUT is also competitive exam. So, apart from this, you could even ask him tips if you are preparing for the other entrances as well in the doubt clearance or even an informal session if you want. And the next person is Ritik Goel. So he's currently studying in, JNU in the CESP department, MA Economics, and he's also a wonderful teacher. So he actually was the best teacher we kind of analyzed when we took the selection process. We were also impressed by his teaching skills and the way he clarifies the things. So I mean, it's stunning. You should experience his teaching. So he'll be teaching the mathematical economics part, and the clarity what he has on the topic is amazing. And the last person is Tahir Ahmed, and he is currently working as a teaching fellow at Kriya University, and he did his master's from Azim Premji University, and he'll be taking the statistics lecture. And he's also he also has a quite a good depth in the statistics part of the syllabus. Okay, and he'll also explain in the most simplest way what is required for the PG entrance examinations. Now, these are our additional support system. So starting with Alan, he did his master's from Madras School of Economics, and he is currently working in EY. Okay, so he could also give you suggestions and everything if you want to go later into a corporate sector or something. And then we have Kannan. He is an associate at CPPR in Kerala. And then Shobha, she herself is like someone who used our portal and everything previously, and she got in Hyderabad Central University. And of course, even Alan was also part of our quizzes and everything before, and now he's in our lead team. And he also cracked MSc by using our material before. And Vinay, again, of course, he is currently doing his postgraduate diploma in applied statistics, and he's in ISA Kolkata. And he is the founder of KN Raj Economics Club. It's another club where we collaborate in making this event more, having to make this event more bigger. And coming to the pricing, so this is the pricing what I told, it's the most affordable what you can get in the market. Okay, starting with the first plan, that's a starter plan, which comes with 3,500 rupees, and within 3,500 rupees, which includes live plus recorded classes, then the topic wise mini test what I mentioned, the section wise, and then the discussion portal. And of course it would also have the Alumni Connect and other features, except the three full length mock tests. Okay, so the combo plan would contain the three full length timed mock test. Okay, so that's something which is exclusive to the combo plan. Other than that, starter plan would have all other features. There is no inequality in this. We just wanted to keep this exclusive to the combo plan. Okay, and that's also under 4,000 rupees. Okay, but as a holy sale, we actually are reducing the price, and currently it's on the website. You can check on the website, and currently the starter plan would be sold at 3,300 rupees, and the combo plan would be sold at the price of the starter plan. So you can buy it for 3,500, and it's a very limited period offer. So it would end by tomorrow 12 p.m. 12 a.m. Okay, it would be something like 11:59 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, in the Indian Standard Time. Okay, so it would end tomorrow. So please make use of this opportunity if you want to. Otherwise, of course, you'll have to pay the standard amount. Even that's not too big if you compare with the the market price. If you have researched enough, if you are serious about the preparation, you would have definitely researched about it, and you might even know the kind of pricing what other people follow. So this is the effective pricing for the next 2 days, till tomorrow basically. And that's it. So of course, if you have liked the structure and everything, you could join by going to economiga.org/CUET. And if you have any queries, you can mail. Don't mail in this, there is some issue with, we'll give another email to contact. Maybe you can use admin@economiga.org. And of course, our application, the official applications would close by March 19th. Okay, and yeah, now we are open to any questions, including something from the CUET part, explanation of that, or regarding the course. If you have any doubts regarding the course also, you can ask right now. You can put on the chat box if you have some inhibition to speak, but if you want to speak, you can speak. You can directly turn on your microphone and ask the question, whatever you have.
Excuse me, sir.
Hi, Mehak.
Hello, sir. Given this crash course, like, will as a student, will I be able to like crack the CUET PG this year?
Okay, so cracking is very subjective, right? It totally depends on how well you prepare. But we'll try our best to cover the topics what is there in the CUET in the short span of time. And of course, it's not a comprehensive course where you get everything, every detailed topic. But then we'll try to cover the most important topics what are required for the preparation. And of course, if you think naturally, 2 months time. But I would say actually 1 month time is required. Enough if you have a solid foundation in the topics. But if you don't have a solid foundation in the topics, then it might take, and it depends on the person to person. It differs from person to person. So some people might take 2 to 3 months, some people might just take 15 days to prepare. For me, like, I cracked the net exam without even preparing. Even same goes to Alan also. He also cracked the net exam without preparing, or maybe putting a lot of effort. So it just depends on how well you're good with the subject domain. Okay, so if you have a good base, then having this kind of a course would, I can maybe say within 10 to 15 days also, you might be able to crack a good university. But it's very, it might be like a hyperbole, maybe the exaggeration, but it might be possible to certain people. But of course, there could be people that might take around 2 months time. So we feel 2 months is an optimal period for anyone to prepare and kind of cover the topics and crack the exam. So that's my take, and it's very subjective, I would say.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Siddharth.
Yeah, hi, Siddharth.
Hi. So the thing is, I have not been exposed to mathematics say till 12th grade. I only came to know that we could actually, read equations and all that after 12th grade. So
Mm-hmm.
I started to understand math after that. And it's very bad right now, but I still understand the concepts, but I would need a rigor in it. Get me?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe do more problems and all that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's my thing. So I might understand economic concepts, but when it comes to mathematical say problem solving, all that, I'm very poor at it.
Mm.
And looking through the question paper scared me out. And
Which
then
which
I
papers? Can you just mention the paper?
uh, um, like Delhi University and all
Okay.
that, IIT,
Yeah, yeah. I
IIT
see.
exam.
Yeah, yeah. I get the point. Yeah, yeah.
It's very hard. It's unimaginable. Okay,
Mm,
so I started with Shom series, and
mm,
it's okay
mm,
going well up until now.
mm.
So yeah, that's my thing. I get the concept, but maths it's hard. But I have 3 months left, so I don't know what to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Naveen,
Okay.
I think I
Yeah,
could.
yeah. You can take the question. Yeah.
Yeah, as Siddharth told, Siddharth, to be frank, like I'm also not exposed to mathematics. Like I'm also from commerce with computer application without doing any maths after say 10th. I didn't do any maths. Even my during my undergraduation in BA in economics also I didn't do any maths because I was more into civil service and I took history as my complementary paper and I didn't do maths. But I'm saying that it's not very necessary to do maths. It's definitely you have to do maths. But even if you didn't have that math or rigor, if you even if you don't have that math, given the CUET pattern and the examination syllabus, I would say that if you can understand the way of solving questions rather than clearly understanding I need to solve all the algebra, all the mathematical stuff behind that. If you understand the trick to solve the questions, I think more or less CUET exam could be cracked and you could get top scores in CUET from my personal experience and from the friends that I know. So it's the best for the timing, as you said, there is a constraint of max. I would say preparation for CUET would not have much quant, but definitely the basic quant need to be fulfilled. That's what we are targeting through the mathematical session as well as the statistics and econometric portion. So I would say if you cover more or less that syllabus with basic solving of the basic mathematical questions, I think more or less you could definitely understand and cover the CUET question paper that's going to happen in the next year. Coming to DSC and those things, if DSC was separately conducting exam, to be frank, Economiga was not offering that course. It's not for DSC aspirants. It's for CUET aspirants. If DSC is part of this, we expect that there could be some rigor mathematical questions. And in our mock test, we will try to cover some kind of rigor questions such that you should understand what kind of the level of difficulty in a mathematical questions in the later stage. So this is what is more or less the syllabus and the mock test what we are targeted, and this course is just an offering that the confidence to attempt a question or the fear that you have not to attend a question will be definitely on the next page of your book, which means you will be at least able to read the mathematical question rather than skipping that question. So this is what we are really targeted at.
I would also like to add to that. So basically, see, I had a math background and even Alan had a math background. So, but I wouldn't suggest you need to study like BSc level math or even 12th level math to a great extent for CUET. Maybe for ISA or DSC, you need to have a solid math background. But since DSC is part of CUET right now, I don't think you have to worry a lot. Maybe in the sense they could be like Nandu mentioned, like they could be like 20% question or 10% question which might cater to specifically to DSC. That's what we expect, because if it's unequal, like say 80% or 50% of the question from DSC kind, it might hurt a lot of different students who are aiming for different universities. So I don't think that's really possible. Okay, secondly, for CUET, I feel if you have a solid background of math till 10th, that would be fine. So you just have to be comfortable doing basic linear equations, solving linear equations, basics of metrics, I mean basics of I would say exponent rules, or I mean these kind of things. Okay, just working with algebra. So if you fine working with algebra functions, that would also be fine. And I've actually taken a course for some students in Kerala, so I can maybe share if you guys are from Kerala. I mean, I shouldn't say this, but still, I can definitely put those on the portal as well if you want. That those are basic school level math. If you want, I can share that videos as well, so you get some idea about like a revision. And it's not an exhaustive thing. It just have certain topics. What, but I feel it would really help you. And of course, I would suggest to revise the NCRT textbooks and watch some YouTube videos, specifically Khan Academy videos, and try to brush up your school math if you are not good with it. But the 12th plus math would be definitely, the 11 12 math would be definitely covered in the course. That's how we would be designing. And definitely we'll let the tutors also know about the same thing. If you guys are facing issues with it, we'll try to ask them to reduce the level or maybe start from the basics, so that you don't really get affected a lot. Okay.
Thank
Sorry to
you.
excuse Naveen.
Yeah.
Like we have some questions in the chat box.
Sure,
Maybe we
sure.
can,
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah. Let me
So
just
I
see.
would,
Yeah,
yeah, the
you can
CUET,
take the question.
yeah, PG theory based exam or quant. So that's what I was just saying before also. It's like CUET is not really theoretical, not really quantitative. So it's a blend of both, where the most of the like 60-65% is more of theoretical or fact oriented economics, and 20 to 35% is more of the quant. So that's what we are also planning to provide through the course, or what's the real target of the CUCT. So it's not a pure quant exam, it's not pure theoretical. So this is the thing. And once it comes to the question by Tejaswini, so the regarding the deadline, the examination time, so it's one of the most uncertain. Like the NTA examinations are like, we are, most of us are taking the exam, so we know. To be frank, one of the uncertain thing in India is now the NTA. So NTA's exams are really unpredictable. So I would say June you might see in some website. At the same time, there will be site websites with July. So we can't assure you anybody that it will be happening in June, because unless and until the NTA, even NTA releases their own notices, and they change the dates very quickly. So it's not sure, but I would say that exam would definitely happen towards, like, given the timeline, the examination bureaucracy that it takes for preparation of the question papers, having examination centers, like being working in the center, like being part of central university, these things I have noticed. So from that experience, I'm saying, from these bureaucratic stuff regarding the examination, for sure it would happen towards the end of June or July beginning at the most. So it couldn't be happening in June. That's what. So if it need to be happening in June, suppose the application should be opened by April. And if it's coming by April, you could say June it might happen. But given the way they works, June, if they say June first week is the exam, definitely it will happen after June second week only. So this is what normally happens, but we can't assure you that it's going to happen in June. But this is the more or less style of NTA's exam, particularly CUET. And one more thing, right now CUET UG application is open. That's very critical. So they won't conduct the CUET PG examination before the end of CUET, or at least partially they complete the CUET UG. So given the application is going to end in this month, half of this month, like June 15th or so, and probably it might extend. So we would say like after April only, by the beginning of May, the application might open for the CUT PG.
Also, I would like to add that our course will anyway end by third week of May. Or suppose if they have announced the exam in June, then we can also discuss with the students regarding this early completion of the program. Like basically, like we will be prioritizing the students' convenience and how because we want everyone to excel in the exam. Yeah, so that is all that we can manage through discussions. That
Yeah,
won't
yeah.
be a problem. Anyway, given the time frame, even if the exam won't happen, I don't think that will happen in May. So even if it happen in June, that we can cover the topics, and that won't be a problem to your preparation. Okay.
Yeah.
So to the question of Mahek, I think regarding the cutoff, now JNU, Hyderabad, DSC, like most of the universities part of CUET will be part of this comprehensive program. So what's going to happen? Like previously, they have their own cutoff, in the sense the number of students write their exam crack their exam, and based on the reservation and points, they put the list. Even though it's not transparent, there were list. But now this is happening like a single window allotment system, where you will be writing CUET exam, kind of a CAT exam. You get a scorecard, you get a score. With that score, you are going to the university website and apply, which means you have to apply for JNU through JNU website. You have to apply for Hyderabad to Hyderabad, just by uploading and providing the basic details only. So suppose if Naveen is having XYZ score and Alan is having the other score, and I have the other score. If Naveen and Alan is most like their score is more greater than me, and if they didn't apply to JNU, if I apply to JNU, the chance of getting me in JNU is much higher than them. So it's, you can't say this is the real cutoff. The cutoff will be only available after the admission closes. So just opposite what happens before. So we can't say this is the cutoff now. And the cutoff will be determined by two variables. One is your score, and the other one is whether you apply or not. If the people with high score doesn't apply to a certain university, the cutoff will be coming down, which means those who got there are with low scores. And if the most of the students who got the high scores applied to the university you are targeting, the cutoff will be high. So it's a game of what do you say? It's a game of strategy, where you are actually investing your score and what is the chance of getting that university. So
Yeah.
I think we given Economiga has a analysis on the Madras school cutoff previously 2 years back. So we would say towards the end, if you are part of this, we would be like able to, once the result is out, we would be able to help you in some way where to strategize your application later on, given the audience, given the application trend to be.
Yeah, and without data, it's very impossible. Even for the Madras school thing, what we did was we even collected the data, kind of we got a sample and then we predicted, and it was almost close to the
Almost
cutoff.
similar.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, in the range of the cutoff. And I think there are two people who raised their hands, Prasanna and Ishita. So maybe
Yeah,
they could.
can I go take this question? Then
Oh,
we
there are
could
more
go.
questions. Okay, okay, okay.
Should we
Yeah,
prioritize major universities? So same thing for Angiras. Like prioritizing university is not the target now. The target is to have a good score, which means you can prioritize in any way. So having the maximum score that through CUT is very important. That you have to prioritize. Then, given the score, you have to prioritize the strategy. So it's like again the
yeah,
game theory that you will
yeah.
learn in the course. So just try to concentrate more on the entrance examination, get to maximum score, then you can even target or prioritize your score. Yeah, I think now we can take the other questions.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe Prasanna can tell his question. I think he raised his hand.
Yeah. Hi, sir. This is Prasanna. I'm
Hi.
I'm nearing the end of my second year in BA Economics.
Okay.
Would you recommend me taking up this since it is a crash course? Will it be too intimidating to take this course at this point of time, or will it be an introductory like thing to?
Okay, so I would strongly say you can actually go for this, because one reason, you would get an idea whether you want to take this test or not. Okay. Secondly, because it's not expensive, I would say, even if you want to invest in a big thing, it's quite expensive. But even though we are focusing on the test for now, I would say since it has the recording access, you can still view these videos and the kind of questions what we created. You can practice those, take those mock tests, use the discussion portal. You can get access to all these things for the lifetime, and we are not keeping any time access to it. So since this is the thing, so definitely I would recommend that since you have a lot of time, you can even create your own plan and prepare later. You can go even in depth later on, but at least you get an essence of what would be there in the examination. So I think that would definitely help you. At least you would once cover all the syllabus through this course, and then you just have to go in areas where you don't really get, or maybe if you feel you want to improve, you can study yourself. Or maybe, I mean, I don't know, I mean, I won't encourage you taking a lot of coaching institutions or something, but you could prepare yourself. And I don't think you really need a big full-fledged course for CUET. I mean, as far as we have seen the structure and the kind of questions what are asked, you just need basic understanding of the syllabus. That's something what we cover. And more than that, you just need to prepare yourself. Self-study and revision is the second most important thing. And you should definitely spend a lot of time yourself preparing, solving the questions once the course is done.
Also, Prasanna, like later, you can also appear for UGC NET and all, because
Yeah.
NET is also conducted by NTA.
Mm.
And once you get a conceptual understanding of the syllabus and the topics, that will definitely help you in appearing for the NET and other exams. To share my personal experience, like I didn't prepare separately for UGC NET exam because I was having these post graduation course, and I appeared for the first time, and I was able to crack it. The only strategy that I used then was like I did some past year question papers, like last 2 or 3 NET question papers I did, and the understanding I got during my entrance preparation has really helped me to build the foundation to clear other national level economics exams. You can also appear for gate exam, or suppose you are thinking that okay, you want to try for ISI or IJADR next week, next year. You can like take a so once you feel that okay, I can get into other institution as well, if I invest some more time, you can also strategize accordingly, your career plans and all. So I would definitely suggest you to take this course because first of all, it is very affordable. Like suppose you take if you have studied the rates of other coaching institutions, you can see that it's in 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. It's in that range. So if you take the course and later you feel okay, this is not what I wanted personally. We also know few people who were not that satisfied with it. So there would be a greater loss of money. So here you anyway, it's a good deal for you as well, for you in your career as well. Yeah, that's
So I think I can add something more. Like
Mm.
out of curiosity, Prasanna, could you please tell like, which university you are doing your undergrad from? University?
Madras Christian College,
Okay, okay.
Okay.
University
So
of
you're
Madras.
under Madras University. Okay, University of Madras. So I would say like that's very important. So other than the Naveen's and Alan's words, I would say like just to add the academic curriculum connecting with this, if you have the basic understanding in your undergrad, having how the exam reality is going in real sense how the exam is, it's best way to understand how the real the exam is going to happen.
Mm.
So which makes more helpful for you to study your third year courses, which means if you have the first 2 year undergrad course done well, if this is just a brushing up of the same thing plus the introductory stuff of the third year, which means if you do your graduation third year in a normal consistent manner without much spending a lot of time, by the third year itself you will have how the economic entrance examination is going to happen, at least in the CUT case, or as Alan said, the later in the master's level the net exam is going to happen. So this is just inclined with the graduation syllabus. That's what more reality. So graduation syllabus plus entrance examination is having a just a gap. So we are trying to just fulfill that gap. That's why we are saying it's not assurance that you will be into this university, but it is an assurance that this is the way to that university, this is the way to crack that entrance. So in that sense also I would say most of the degree what we cover in India doesn't have that edge of entrance examination crack, and if it is there it is more into the I would say, to be frank, in Delhi University. So this is the better way to grab that space and fill the asymmetry. So in that sense also it is really helpful, I feel. I hope he's
Thanks.
fine. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now maybe Ishita can tell her. Yeah.
Hello, hello everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, yeah, perfect.
Good evening, everyone. I am currently a second year student of Eco Honors, and I will soon be starting with my final year post July.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
wanted to ask, like, I'm currently confused whether I should be, doing pursuing a master in economics, and if master in economics, there are multiple options there, like masters in quantitative
Mm.
economics or masters in economics
Mm.
and masters in, I mean, plain economics. I mean, there are
Mm.
multiple options, so I can't figure out that which master should I be going forward with. Like, if you ask like what my interest area lies in, I won't be able to answer that question at the moment. So what should I be doing? Like, what should
Okay.
like I'm
Okay.
I'm confused at the moment. Like, what should I be doing? For, which masters in eco should I be going forward with?
Okay. So, where did you do? I mean, where are you doing your undergrad
I
from?
am doing it from Delhi University, Shyama Prasad Mukherjee College in Punjabi Bagh.
Okay, okay, okay. So that's a good question. As well as, I mean, we all have been through the situation about this kind of confusion. So I would say, I mean, if you do you have any career plans or something, just leave the masters. What do you want to be in, say, 5 years later? Like anything like.
As of now, I wish to enter the corporate world or maybe something in the research field.
Okay,
Uh,
okay. So you're confused between the two, right? Yeah. So see,
yes.
in terms of placements, of course, I mean, if you're only aiming for placements, the best option is to go for MBA. Okay, but then if you
Mm.
want to study economics and then earn, I mean, a decent salary, I mean, it's not decent. I mean, if you get an ISA or something, I mean, you earn more than, I mean, average, I feel it's more than 20-22 lakhs package, and then it can even go beyond 30 lakhs. Okay, and there are like two centers, Delhi and Kolkata. So definitely this and coaching or this kind of thing won't really help you for that. And secondly, I feel Delhi School, then IJDR, these places also offer good packages. And of course, Madras School of Economics, Alan is from there. There also you get, I mean, I feel, I mean, maybe Alan could tell better about the placements there, but I feel maybe Alan, you can maybe just tell about that. So like,
Yeah, like personally, I have felt in India, if you are planning to enter into corporate like a DSC, ISA, IGADR, MA, MSc, GAIFA, some of the institutions where you can assure like around 90-95% or above placements. They will also you will get a pretty decent package, like a average package or the highest package in MSc last year was around 23, 24 or something like that, and it has been increasing. It's always on an increasing trend. So the these are the institutions where you can focus, if you want to enter into the corporate field. But at the same time, you must not there are ample off-campus opportunities as well. Suppose, to share my experience as well, there are colleagues from JNU and other central universities as well in my company. uh, so it's not that you have to go to these institutions to get into corporate. If you are passionate enough and if you have that conviction and the ability, you can definitely enter into the corporate field using your LinkedIn connections or by networking, by contacting your seniors and all.
even
There are
professors also
always
would help.
ample
Yeah.
opportunities.
Mm.
Also, Economica is a very good
Yeah.
community where you can explore. Like you can also reach out to people and
Because
all.
there are people who are working in corporate,
Yeah.
and also if you want,
Yeah.
yeah, referrals and
So,
all those.
to narrow down to your main question, I would like, so you are in your second year. First, you can just think about, okay, what you want in your life. Then, based on that, or whether that suits your interest and passion, and you can also discuss about the environment in the targeting colleges. All these factors will come
Yeah.
into play like when you enter into an institution. Obviously you would have known by this time during your UG as well. So like this course, I would suggest you that if you're targeting for that, uh, or for ISC or ISI or IGADR, it may not be that helpful. But
Mm.
DSC comes under CUET PG from this year, and then the
JNU is there.
JNU is there.
Both SIS and Triple S. Yeah.
University of Hyderabad also has a placement committee,
Yeah.
and they are also improving their placements. That's what
Mm.
I could feel.
Yeah. Even MSc, that
Yeah,
kind of question what
yeah.
MSc asked.
MSc guide also, you are if you are enrolled in this course, that can also help you the
Though it's
preparation.
not
Like
part of CUET, but the kind of questions what they ask are very
questions
similar.
you
Yeah.
can that will be a very helpful for you there as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
All
Okay.
of
right.
course,
Thank you so
regarding
much.
the course, what you asked, no, I mean, you were confused what to take, MSc Economics or
Yes, like
Economics. So,
what's
yeah, so I would say, like, if you want to be in economics, the field economics, then the first way to go is economics. I mean, masters in economics, and don't get intimidated with MSc tag and MA tag because it doesn't matter anything, at least in India. Because see, the course in Delhi school is known as MA Economics. Okay, and there are some places where there is MSc, and I don't think if you say like in layman time, you might say, okay, MA economics and it won't be rigorous. But you need to ask someone who is studying in DSE to know the real rigor, what they are going through. And of course, economics is such a rigorous, I mean, the topics, I mean, they cover in much more rigor in this top institute. So you should also be aware about that. I mean, just with the fancy name and fancy placements, you shouldn't jump or make a conclusion there. I mean, you should also think how to survive there. Okay. So yeah, so in the long, you should always think in the long run, not just 1 2 years. That's why we even showed you the career prospects initially, why you should actually study in Central University or the Institute of Eminence in the country. So yeah.
I think I
Okay.
can
Okay.
also add
Thank
something,
you.
Shweta.
Mm.
Yeah, the thing is like after my graduation, I also got into this different courses. The style is named like MA Economics. I got a MA Econometrics. I got MA Financial Economics and different things. But in reality, what I understood is like MA Economics is more or less enough for any kind
Mm.
of thing. But given the career that you are looking, if you are into corporate level of career, if you are into research, it may differ. But MA Economics is more or less very very significant and very very important. With MA Economics, you can go to both target. Like Alan is MA Financial Economics,
Mm.
but even he, as he said, he has his colleagues from economics background, same job or the higher jobs too. So I would say MA Economics is more safer thing without the
Mm.
fancy name. If you are doing it from the targeted institute, like for corporate, has Naveen and Alan said, like for IJDR or DSE, and for research oriented like University of Hyderabad or JNU, that would be more or less. So it's very important to target the university rather than the course style, which means MA or MA. So I just had the same question from a bulk of students last week. So like MA Applied Economics, it's a fancy name in India now, right?
Mm.
But MA Applied Economics is fancy, but the thing is like it doesn't offer something applied. Applied is
Yeah.
not known for any of the Indians as of now. Like even
Mm.
I also don't know. So to be
Mm.
frank, MA Economics is enough, but you should see whether the MA Economics program is corporate oriented, which is more quant oriented, or
Mm.
which is more research, more analytical oriented. That's what
Yeah.
you have to target and move ahead.
And you should also have an interaction with these students, like the alumni, so you get more idea about the kind of things, and should go through the kind of profiles of the faculty and maybe syllabus if it's possible. So this would give you more clarity on the kind of course what they offer than just the name of the course. So that's like you get into the course. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No
No
problem.
issue.
No. I think someone else also raised their hands. I think Parvati or someone. Uh, maybe
Wish you left.
not very sure.
I think
Yeah.
mine is still raised.
Okay, okay, no
Okay.
issues.
Fine.
No
No
issues.
issues.
Yeah.
Is there
So if
anybody else
anyone
has?
else has a question, yeah, they could ask or maybe put on the chat box.
Yeah, anything related to
Good evening,
CUT?
sir.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Hi.
Sir, I'm a final year student.
Mm,
Provided I'm still having classes in my college until the end of March and university exams will be extending up to the end of April.
mm.
Is there any chance there will be another crash course offered by Economica by the end of April? Like,
Okay.
Okay.
So, okay, who is taking this? Maybe.
You can
Okay.
take. You can take.
Okay. So basically, our crash course, since I mentioned before, we won't be taking the classes on a day-to-day basis. It's only on weekends specifically. That's what we intend to do, unless if there is some kind of a mismatch between timings between the tutor and the students. Okay. Otherwise, given we would conduct only on the weekend, so you can calculate how many classes they would be on a particular month. So they would be approximately 8 classes maybe for, and we won't conduct more than 2 courses per I mean at a single time we would only consider 2 courses. So for example, we plan to start the course with micro and math because they complement each other, right? So unless you know math, you can't really take micro. I mean, there are math things in micro as well, so it's better that we move in this pace, and once we kind of covered a good proportion of these topics, then we'll shift to the other two, that is macro and the stats. Okay, and there is this topic, the miscellaneous topic. So what we intend to do is that we'll kind of give I mean a self-paced course for the other miscellaneous topic. That would be just the recordings what you can watch, because we didn't want to mess up with your timings and with the tutor's timing. So it should be in a way that you should be able to access. And secondly, all of these live classes would be recorded, and you can watch any of these videos in a later stage. So you don't have to worry that, okay, I missed this class and I mean, what will I do? that's not an issue, because you can watch and you have 1 week's time to revise and have make up your mind. If you have some questions or something, you can even ask on the doubt clearance portal, the discussion portal. And even we would ask the tutors to conduct extra doubt clearance sessions. So that would be maybe every 2 weeks or something, whenever you, I mean, there is time for both you and the tutor. That can be in a weekday, because weekends would be mostly busy with the classes, so that could be on a weekday, but it would only be with the consensus of both students and the tutor. Okay, so I don't think you would miss out a lot, I mean, even if you join late, like with the live classes.
Sri Parvati, like I just wanted to add that you don't need to worry about the like managing it with the classes, because we are going in a pace that that will be able to comprehend to everyone. No, not that you will feel very hectic and all.
Mm,
Also, we are giving you the ample support, like in terms of the discussion portal, the community, or that you can the tutorial sections. And also that is not at all a problem. You can easily manage it with your academics. Even if you have some semester exams and you need to take some break, you can find some time later and watch the recordings, reach out to the tutor. Like we prefer you to use the discussion platform more, because that will be of great help for you.
mm.
So you can easily manage it. That won't be a problem. You don't have to worry about it much about it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I think one more thing, the question like is the classes from morning to evening? Yeah, can Naveen, can you just go back to that slide where we
Yeah,
show the
yeah,
approximate tentative class timing?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I would say that, so to be precise, like it's a 50 lectures. So 50 lectures will be covered for micro, macro, then the math portion, then the statistics and econometrics, and the miscellaneous. So miscellaneous, as Naveen told, miscellaneous portion would be more or less the self-paced, where you have the flexibility to work yourself. And for the 40 hours lecture, it's just 1 to 2 lectures per week. It's 1 to 2 lectures per week, which means you have to sit for at the most 3 hours every
For
day.
a
For
maximum,
our
that's like,
maximum,
yeah, if it goes
yeah,
like 2 hours, but we
two
won't
two hours,
make the tutors to take till 2 hours class. I mean, we expect
because
them to
it
teach
will
in
be,
1 hour. Yeah, but there could be class in class doubts, and also it could go 1.5 or
yeah.
two
So
hours.
it's just taking your weekend, probably weekend, so 80% of the classes for sure will be weekend. And
Mm.
out of the weekend, it's like 1 hour or to 1.5 hours for Saturday, suppose, and Sunday the same. So it won't be like a long day classes. So first of all, please make sure, in like everyone should feel that it's not one per day classes. It's like per hour or per session classes. So in that sense, it will take like 50 lectures across 2 months. It's not one day we are taking 8 hours kind of. So that to be clear. And to the question of Sri Parvati, it was a general question or the query that we got from a lot of students,
Yeah,
particularly in the state universities. So we know the exam pattern, when is the examinations going to happen, we know more or less. But what we would say, as they said, the recording is one of the major aspect that you could use properly. And if the audience, most of the people comes from
yeah,
same kind of, if they face the same kind of issue, we will try to fix the issue in the first meeting itself, such that
yeah.
none would be facing much issues to attend the class. So we
Mm.
will try to enhance that later on, if the audience is really intent and the faculty or the tutor is ready to cope up with.
Yeah. So
That
basically,
is
we
what.
would have an orientation like after once the final registration is done. So the date of final registration is 19th, right? So once that is done, once we have the complete list of students, we would basically try to conduct an orientation where we would take your views as well. So based on proper consensus, like from both the sides, we'll decide the final start date. Okay, till then we won't decide. For now, it's a tentative start date as like 3rd week of March, but it can maybe we would start depending on, see, if everyone is coming from same university, and then if everyone is having exams, then we it's not possible for us to conduct the live classes, right? So it depends on the crowd. So we'll decide and let you know, because as far as now, we don't have a definite day for the exam. Like the exams might happen around July or August, for now. Okay, and unless we get an official announcement, and we don't really have to go till then, but we'll try to start as early as possible and then end the course as early as possible. So that's our aim, but it depends on various different aspects like this. So I hope that question is answered, and if there is any other question, you could ask anyone. And if you're registering, try to make use of the holy discount, because as I mentioned, for the combo plan, you basically get 500 off. Though for the first plan, you don't really get a lot of off, but still you get like 200 off for that. And because just after 10, we'll make the price the same, the previous price. But of course, even that's not too big. Of course, you might have realized by now the kind of the market price what others offer. But still, if you want to reap this small benefit, you could try to register by tomorrow.
And I personally recommend you all to take the combo plan because, like,
Mm.
when you are appearing for a national level exam, like if you are doing some mock test, then you will get an
Yeah.
understanding of like how the exam environment and all. So that will really help you in devising your strategy while appearing for the examination. The areas you have to strengthen and focus more. So this is a good time for you to read the benefits of the holy discount, and particularly those who are appearing this year,
For them, yeah,
go for the combo plan.
combo one, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Raj has raised the hand. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So
hi.
I'm audible.
Yeah, you're.
Um, so the thing is that there's this particular time constraint that we face.
Mm,
So will the classes be conducted like first the theory will be taught,
mm.
and then the particular previous year questions will be discussed. Like how is the classes conducted?
Naveen, I think I will take this.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. So Raj, like while we were preparing for the end this crash course, the one thing that we have decided upon is that we will be going in a way that we will first build the theoretical base foundation of all the subjects. I mean, first we were going in a way that building theoretical foundation, then giving you application oriented questions, so which will enable you to tackle both the theoretical based questions as well as the the problems that would come in the examination. So you don't need to worry about it. So once the tutors will also discuss the relevant previous year questions and after completing each topic, so that you will be well versed in the theoretical as well as the applied and understanding of the subject.
Yeah.
And I think there is a query in the chat box, Naveen. Could you
Yeah,
please
regarding
go
the
through?
registration. Okay, what I can
Yeah,
do is that maybe I can share the screen and show the process. So that would
yeah.
be even
Okay.
better. Okay, okay. I'll share the full screen and I'll show the process. Uh, can everyone see the screen?
Yes, Naveen.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So first you have to go to economiga.org/CUET. I mean, otherwise you can directly search on Google. Maybe that's the easiest way you can do. Okay. So in case if you don't remember, just search for Economiga and you would get this link. Go here. Otherwise, you can go to the main website and click on the CUET PG link. I'll show you the link. Okay, so this is the home page of the CUET, and basically if you are landed it in any other, if you have landed up in any other page, you just have to click on this link so that you reach this page. Okay, now what you have to do is that click on the view pricing and you go to this pricing page. Okay, and if you're on your phone, you don't really have to click. If you want, you can. Otherwise, just scroll down and come to this place. So whichever plan you want to register, and this price is slash price till tomorrow. Okay, because after tomorrow, the prices would be the normal one. So this combo plan would be of 3,999 and starter would be 3,499. Okay, so whichever plan you're choosing, you just have to click on join now. Okay, so it would take you to a payment page. Of course, since I've already been signed in, that's the reason it just took me here. But if you have not yet registered to the website, you have to register in order to reach this page. Okay, once that is done, you just have to either use your UPI, that's basically scan this uh, QR code and make the payment, or otherwise you can make a bank transfer.
Sorry to interrupt,
Yeah,
Naveen.
yeah.
So, guys, just I wanted to remind you that the mail ID you will be using for logging
Mm.
in will be used for in inviting the class links later.
Yeah. So
Okay, so
please
just
make sure that that's your personal ID or something, because it's good that you shouldn't use any institutional ID in this, because in case if you're leaving the institution, you won't get the access later, because we'll be giving only to your personal ID, one and only one account. Okay, so please make sure. So I'll tell you on the process. So basically, once you made the payment, you'll have to enter these details, because for now we haven't integrated any payment gateway on our website. Okay, so that's why we can't really take an automatic way, so you'll have to manually enter these details when the payment is done. So once the payment is done, you have to enter your name correctly, then the email address. This is the most important thing, like Alan mentioned, because you would get all the access to the materials with a single email. Then your phone number, that's also necessary, because in case if there is some urgency, we'll have to contact your phone, or maybe if there is some kind of group or something what you're creating, then you should be in the process. So submit your phone number, then choose the plan. Okay, as of now we don't offer the mock test plan, we just have starter and combo. So select the plan what you want. Okay, so here is like combo. If you have made the payment for combo, then select combo. Then you have to choose the mode of payment. So if you have made payment through UPI, just click on that, and then choose the date of transaction whenever you made this. Okay, and then the transaction ID. So that's something what you would find even in a bank transaction or even on a UPI. So there would be some transaction ID. You can paste either Google transaction ID if you're using Google Pay, or otherwise the UPI transaction ID. Okay, that's anything would work. Okay, you can put up any ID, and then also as a proof, you should also upload a copy of the receipt. So basically, you can take a screenshot if you're using UPI, or maybe save it as you can save also the document, or whatever way. If it's a bank statement, you can just click a picture or whatever, whichever you want, you can do that. Okay, then select that image and then submit it. So this is mandatory, because otherwise we won't know if you have registered or not. Of course, we would get to know once the amount comes to a bank, but this is a more formal way so that we can give access to the person who have made the payment. Okay, so you should definitely, once the payment is done, it's your responsibility that you should fill this form out. It would hardly take 2 to 3 minutes, okay, to fill the form. So this is the process to make the payment, I mean the registration, and within 1 to 2 days we'll get back to you with the access to the portal.
Okay. Also, guys, we strongly advise you to go through the website, because
Mm.
like if even in the brochure or how to make the payment and all, we have created a separate video as well,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one Nandu has posted. And also, like, if you face any difficulty during the process, feel free to reach out to us either through our social media accounts, or through the mail
So there is
ID,
a chat option
or
also, I
you
can show
can
you
in the
that. Yeah,
website chat. Yeah, you may show
so
them.
that would be even better. So you can directly use the website chat, and
Yes.
we'll quickly reply to you whenever we are free. So if you're in the home page, so you can see here. Okay, so you can click here, and then you can actually chat with us. So this is the Economiga thing, so you just have to click here and chat. You can even chat with us on WhatsApp. Okay, so there are two options, either on WhatsApp or on this chat. So you can directly chat with us and we'll clarify your doubts if you have any. Okay, and of course, like Alan mentioned, you should also try to go through each and everything what is written on this, because this is the comprehensive thing, whatever, even with including a sample video of each of the lectures. And also you would also have testimonials of previous students who have cracked, and this video, of course, this explains how to register, so you can definitely watch this. And a lot of frequently asked questions, so a lot of questions what you might have in your mind has already been answered here. So definitely go through each and everything related to payment, the eligibility and everything. Okay, so that's recommended that you should go through each and everything before you register. Okay, so yeah. So is there any other question, or maybe we could wind the session, like, if there are none?
Yeah, I think if there are none, we could wind up, right?
Yeah, we can maybe.
Yeah,
Also, like, feel free to reach out to us in case of any requirement or any doubts you have while registering for the course.
of course. Yeah,
So, like, also make use of the platform we have built for you,
yeah,
because this moreover you take the session or not, it's about the building a community, like
yeah.
making the economics education more accessible. Like,
Mm,
we three personally believe that if everyone should get a level playing field, especially in the case of education,
mm,
because no matter where you come from, what financial situation you come from, what background you come from, to which parents you are born to, what privileges or how underprivileged you are. But we wanted to make this to bridge all such differences and build this community for all the economic aspirants. And we wholeheartedly invite you all for joining us, n- not only through the course but also through the further initiatives we will be taking.
Yeah.
And very heartful thank you for all of you for coming here. And we believe that this has added some value to you, like in your preparation and all. Especially Naveen and Nandu has well articulated all the how to prepare for the CUT to the course we are offering. And I personally recommend you to make use of the holy offers, which will be gonna end by tomorrow night. So make use of this. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we will see you soon. I hope to see all of you in our next orientation for our students. That is exclusively really for our students. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Naveen, do you want Naveen and Nandu, anything to add?
Nothing on
Nothing.
my
I
side.
think thanks,
Yeah.
thanks from the
Thank
team
you so much.
Economiga
Yeah.
Thank you
for
so much for
joining.
coming.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
We're really happy for the response
Yeah.
we got.
Thank you
Yeah.
for trusting us. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
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 thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thank
Good
you. Have
night.
a nice
Bye.
day. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.